Good evening, everyone. Is my sound and my screen clear? Can you all hear me so that we get down to business? Is my sound and my screen?
Yes, it's true.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Right, so I think we can start. Those that are dragging their feet as they are coming, they'll catch us along the way. They'll find us along the way so that we don't waste much time. Right, so DXY, we still have, I think, obviously the same bias like what we've been having. This week we still have news also this week. I think we also have CPI, we have PPI this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I think there are news events that are also available there, which obviously might give the market some bit of moves, But nonetheless, we don't the main thing that you have to master is your technicals. Once you master your technicals, no matter what the news event will be, you definitely kill it, because news events, all they do is they just flow. They don't change the direction, they just add more volatility to what will be happening. Right, so currently we are still stuck in this block here, and in this block here, if you notice what we've been saying, that in this case, we have literally shifted structure to the upside. If ever, let's say we came, because yeah, that's a law like this, of which we have taken it out. If ever we'd come to this level and fail to break that level, I was gonna say we are bearish, but no, we didn't do that. So we literally shifted structure to the upside, even on the monthly. So doing that there, that's the shift upside, shift to the upside. And now the target now is taking out this level here, right? So as they were coming up, you can see that here we took out this high, made a high, low, high, low. So currently, even on the monthly, they are still within an overall. I can say we are still within an overall buying range, right? So I can just mark like this. Even if we go to the weekly, which I think I'll stop on the weekly, not to waste much time on it. So on the weekly, if you look at it, this whole level here, it's actually a buying range, right? This whole level like this. They did their shift there. Those that do have understanding of institutional terminologies, you can actually see that this is a change of character to the upside, right? That being a change of character to the upside, then here they came back for a pullback. Now they're going to break structure up there, right? Simple stuff. Then here, as they're coming down, that's where they let me see where they shift to the upside. It's actually here. That's where they shifted to go to the upside. Started doing that shift to the upside, obviously came back for a pullback and stuff. They came back for a pullback. So here they were not just creating legs as they are going now. They're not just creating structure as they're going. So you could have even put something like this, like this, like this, like this. So from here, obviously, we're planning to attack that. Then here, as they are going, you can literally see a bullish order flow, bullish market structure, high, low, high, low. Then we want to attack and close above that level there. So it's still almost the same bias that we had even, I think, even last month and stuff, whereby we still anticipated buys on the dollar index. So the main important level right now is here whereby we're still in a buying range like this. Even if you look inside, even if we consider inside structure or that inside order flow, right? You literally realize that here we're coming down. The overall outside we are bullish. Even inside here, we also tend bullish, I think around I can say fully here, right? Then that was a high, that was a low, there, that's our new high. So just within this whole inside region, we can say this whole level, it's also a buying range within that level, within that whole inside structure. So this week, which we are entering, I'm actually anticipating the DXY to give us buying opportunities to buy actually right here in this region. All it just needs to do on the lower time frames, on your daily H4 and stuff, it just needs to do that bullish upside shift to the upside. Then it buys coming to attack this, attack that, attack that. So for this week, DXY, I'm looking forward for it being bullish within this whole region, right? Of which it has actually reached almost the what do you call this? the discount region actually of that whole zone from this leg to this leg. Even if you put a minor Fibonacci from this low to that high that they created there, you can really see that they actually tapped most of the important Fibonacci retracement levels. So that's where I'm actually going to stop on the DXY, whereby we still have an overall bullish anticipation for it this week on the DXY. So DXY this week I'm anticipating something like this, something like this, something like this. Something like this is what I'm expecting this week for the dollar index. So anticipating that for the dollar index, anticipating the dollar index will be bullish like that, it automatically can now give us a rough idea of what might transpire on our both our pro-dollar pairs as well as our anti-dollar pairs, right? Let me start with US30. Let me just follow that order. Let me just start with US30 monthly. So US30 monthly, I think the last time that we did a session, I did speak that US30, it did something that NASDAQ hasn't done. If you look on the monthly, this is the only time that on the monthly we did this reversal. That's a reversal sign like what it did there. So that being a reversal like that, we still have a lot of selling potential on uh, the US30. I think I've been explaining how far I'm anticipating even the whole reversal. So currently my major anticipation for US30 is here, right? Right here from that region where it is, we're anticipating an overall downward push into this region before. So this is a move that can take the rest of the year, July, August, September, October, November, December, just dropping like that. So it's all a matter just of the lower time frames just realigning themselves, giving you that bearish market structure up there. They'll be coming down because they won't come down in a straight line, obviously. They'll come down with giving you all those bearish order flow structure to the downside, right? So that was the shift on the monthly to the downside on USD. I'll just refine my demand area right like this. So that's a major demand I'm anticipating us to come to one of the major ones. Obviously, there are other minor ones along the way where it can just tap. Then once it taps those, it can maybe give another mini retracement. Because remember, as I said, even as they'll be going down, they won't go down in a straight line. So they can even come from here. They can even come attack, wipe out all this liquidity, tap that one, maybe give a slight one, something like this, right? So from where they are up there, they are actually, if you look at it from even the weekly perspective, you can literally see that here after doing that shift to the downside, even on the weekly, if ever you wanted to spot the real shift here, they broke structure there, made that high. So here in this case, you can just say this was the that was the shift there to the downside. So from there, their main level is this one, right? Their main level that they'll be coming for is this one that I put here, right? So right here, if we are just going to interpret structure, you can see that after this shift, they made this new law. In this case, the new law is actually being considered as this one. Obviously, this one is just a sweep that happened, but literally they will be coming also for that one. So right there, we can also have a mini, what do you call this? A mini, one of the mini targets. You can also have them around those levels. So after creating that low, they made this overall pullback, didn't take out our high, which changed structure here to the downside. Then after reaching there, they turned right there. So them turning right there to the downside, that's a double confirmation. That's a double confirmation that we literally wanted. So here we have that leg and that leg, and we're now coming obviously to attack this one that we have created like that. So this is the current bias that we have currently on USD. That shift that happened there, it's actually a good thing. So now even if you put it like this, right? Even if you put it like this, it means we created this new law. Then here we're almost doing the same thing that we did here. Create shift structure, create a law, pull back, shift, create a law, pull back, something like that. It's doing almost the same similar thing. So here they've tapped this extreme supply area there. On the weekly, they've tapped it. Let's see if ever on the lower time frames they've also tapped it. Because if they haven't, if there's anything to tap there on the lower time frames, they can still come there, right? If there's anything to tap, they can still touch up there. But if there's nothing to tap, definitely they won't even go anyway. So looking at the daily structure. Let me just refine this. Okay. Looking at the daily structure, right? The daily structure, as you can see, we fell down nicely. Then we started to go up from there. The upside shift here, it happened, and now the market was just now creating bullish order flow to the upside, whereby we the high low created a new high, came back, they didn't take out this low, they broke the high low, they broke the made a high. So they're just playing around with bullish order flow. I can say here they are still within a bullish order flow. So in that regard, that is just I can say the box that they've just, even last week they were just playing within this box. They didn't even do anything crazy. They're just playing within this whole box, which is a bullish order flow. So they still also have there's room if ever they want to tap something like up there. They want to touch this level, it's fine. They can still touch it, right? Even if they don't touch it, because remember the weekly, as I said, they have touched already most of the levels there. So we can't talk about the monthly has touched already, weekly has touched. So this is the only level that I think I have currently on the daily that I can say they can still touch before the overall drop. So that can maybe give the push today before the drop. But so far here we are still stuck in a bullish order flow. Even on Friday, was it Friday? Well, when we had NFP, even it didn't do anything crazy. I think I also spoke about even the NFP idea in the group, to say that the current look, the way the dollar index was literally even the way the dollar index was literally looking, it wasn't even anything appetizing to say it's going to do any crazy moves. It didn't it had not done a certain confirmation that I wanted to see. That's why even the moves, they were not even that deep. They were not even that deep. So yeah, that was a simple buy from here. So now we are stuck within this region here, and we just now need to see how structure will play out. Is structure going to break out of there, of that whole block? Because here they've tapped some of the areas. So if ever they still want to touch there, they can also do that. They can also still do that. So currently, I can say we're still stuck within this whole region, of which here we've shifted up. That's a high, that's a low. We are still bullish. I think we broke there, made a new high, and we're sort of like stuck within this mini level inside here like this. So they can literally open and actually start buying from that region, because even here I think they tapped this. Let me see. They didn't fully touch there, but they touched also this other level. So they can still buy. They can still buy. If ever there are any changes that happen along the way, if they do, what do you call this? If they do a shift inside there, proper shift, obviously, then definitely we'll have to say now they are dropping all the way from where they are. If ever, that's why I always say that analysis is something that is progressive. Analysis is something that is progressive. Even after you've analyzed like this and said A, B, C, D, this is what, this is what, this is what, it still progresses. You still have to progress with it, right? Whereby if there is anything new that comes up, you you still have to adjust your you still have to move with the market, right? Because if the market opens and start moving like here, definitely it means we have to move with it, right? For example, here that was a break, they broke there, then they haven't taken out this leg to prove that they can still go up. They can still potentially go up. Let me see here. So in order to take some buys, let me see if ever there's any extra confirmation that one needs for them to take some buys on US30. Some of the structures on the lower time frames, when you go lower, they won't be as appetizing as, remember, the lower you go, the more structure you will start to have there. So sometimes most people, you get confused by that much structure that will be form, formed on the lower time frame. So there, that was a leg, that was a leg, that was a leg. Then here they're coming to check out that one. So you can just remove this one. So we are focused on this. That's a low, that's a high. And what's this? That's a high, that's a low. Then here they went up, came down, went up again. So in this case, they have this region here as a potential region of them are shooting up from. They can shoot up from that region where they literally rejected, which is here. So from there, I like the fact that even some of the candles, they literally did break to the upside. In this case here, they failed. Then here they came. Then here they took out all those highs to the upside. So potentially from there, we can actually have some buys from that movement that it has literally done. Right. So let me add more structure to this. Have this like that. So potentially from there, it can actually give some buys from where it is. You can even go lower to 30 minutes. Maybe if you want a more perfect entry around, it might come down here. So you can wait for the market to come there, give you that upside shift, then you strike buys to the upside on US30. This is my current bias right now that I'm having on US30. So US30, yeah, there's still room for for buys. Just looking at the overall, even the 4 hour, there's still room for it to buy. But nonetheless, if ever any changes now happen, especially on this higher time frame, like your 8 hour, if there are now major changes that happen, they definitely will now need to conform to that. But currently, we are still having that buying potential, which is still there. So looking also at the next pair, which is GBPUSD and EURUSD, those two, they are still also on the if you noticed my analysis on GBPUSD and EURUSD lately, I said we did a shift to the downside there. Then it means that whole region was actually made a very, very strong selling region up there, right? To an extent that even where it is now, it's actually a very high probability selling zone. I'll show you just now, even as I go to lower time frames. So we are coming, this is our first major target to the downside, even on the monthly. So here they went up, they did a shift down, made a new low, pull back. Then here you can also confirm, you can also see that they literally did the downside shift around here. So doing that downside shift there, that was a confirmation as well. So now that confirmation now, I can even mark this high point, this one like that, as a potential zone that the market might not break above, right? So going down to the weekly, I feel like there's more structure also on the weekly, whereby you can even see more clarity where this was the change of character to the downside. And here, the first break of structure that you're looking at is this one before this one, right? So looking at that, we still have now a very good selling potential from this zone here. That is a very good selling zone on GPUSD. Very, 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 very. It still has that what do you call this? That selling potential. Even here, if you look at these sweeps, most of them, like this one, this is the biggest sweep that it had. It hasn't even closed above it. So they still have potential to sell. Having said that, now we just now need to go to the daily and the 4 hour and even lower time frame to see now what do we need to see in order for us to enter that sell. I remember last time, when was it? We tried to enter some cells on certain zones, of which some of them they didn't really go there, sustain that long because of the shift that did not yet happened, you know. So right here, looking at structure from this perspective, from this daily perspective, I like the fact that this region, if you look here, we're going up, 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 up nicely, high lows, high, low, high, low, high. And here we shifted to the downside here. So this automatically makes this region a high probability selling zone, this one. This whole region there, you can just mark it even from here just to here, just to give it that room to even sweep, even if it's going to sweep. But that region there, it's actually a very, 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 very good high probability selling zone on GBPUSD. So GU and EU, you can see that even I like the way they are moving with the DXY. It's very smooth. It's very quite smooth compared to some of the stock indices. Remember, stock indices, they differ now from currencies in so many various factors. Factors like, stock indices, these are companies that are basically trying to make a profit and stuff. So they might not move exactly at the same pace with some of these currency pairs compared to the DXY and stuff. So yeah, they shifted down. Then here we now have a pullback to the upside. So here I can say this is a new low that they made. If you check here, they didn't break below this level. So where they are now, we just need, so you don't need to necessarily wait for the daily. Obviously, the daily shifting to the downside or taking out that previous daily low, it's a major obviously confirmation, but you don't need to wait for the daily. Going lower at 4 hours, 4 hours is more solid. Even 2 hours, I believe it's also more solid for that shift. If you notice here, so here we're going up, 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 up. They were just maintaining the highs and lows, highs and lows, and highs and lows. So currently the market will open around, I think around here. And just looking at the 8 hour, potentially you are looking at something like this low. Once it's taken out, that will be a confirmation for sales, right? Whereby once it's taken out, you can even sell stop loss above there, stuff like that. Then let's see 4 hour. I believe it's also the same zone on 4 hour, same level also on 4 hour, same, yeah, it's the same thing also on 4 hour. Then, so yeah, to the left side, you can see that there's nothing here left here. They've tapped even this imbalance that was there. There's nothing that I can say they still has anything left to, even if you put a Fibonacci, I believe it's actually even on the extreme points of the Fibonacci, up there. They're actually on 78.6 Fibonacci retracement, which is a very good Fibonacci retracement level, which is a very good. So this is one of the major, I can say one of the major trades that we're going to take for this month of July. Major swing trades actually that we're going to take for this month of July. I'm actually anticipating. So yeah, the trade that we're going to have is literally going to be around, let me just put it exactly, once we close below there, that's where our trade will be. Then maybe our stop loss will be above there. Obviously, our first target will be this low. That's our first major target. So this is our current structure right now. This is our current structure right now on GBPUSD. Once they do that, then we strike ourselves to the downside. So that is everything that I have so far on GBPUSD. I'm actually looking forward to a very smooth, what do you call this? Very smooth sales from that zone where they are. So the weekly, even the monthly, we're still on the same page. We're still on the same page. There's nothing that has literally changed. So if you're looking at it from what do you call this? If you're looking at it even from the weekly, just looking at the lows, whereby you want to see the low that was taken out here. They didn't take out this. They didn't take out this. The low that was literally taken out was literally this one. So you can even mark the exact point, which is the high of that low, which is this one. So that's why I say that's a very, very strong level where they are. Very, 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 very strong, sensitive level for ourselves. So we still have that overall sell bias on our GU. We still have that overall sell bias. Last week, I think some of these levels we also were looking forward to some shifts to the office. They didn't fully happen. They just arrived there, did an inward shift, but didn't shift fully to the downside. That's why they kept buying to the upside. I remember even in Euro USD, I gave you guys a simple. There was a level that I said, if ever they don't take out this level like this and whatever, you definitely will know that they might buy before. So yeah, same thing. Also, we are coming. Our major TP is down there like that. But obviously, as you can see, as they are coming down, they're coming down in form of bearish order flow to the downside. That was a change of character. That was a break of structure. And here we're anticipating a break of structure. So this one is much more smooth and clearer. Even the structure is very visible. Even a blind man can see this structure that is smooth. So from that level up there, we can also pinpoint a level where they can, which is a very beautiful supply area there. That supply area is a very beautiful one. Once you get our proper shift there, that's a swing trade as well from there. So even the news that are going to come on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, potentially the main direction that will be anticipating them to flow to will mainly be on the sell side of things, especially once we've tapped our zone like that, because I'm not anticipating Euro USD to break above this level. That's one thing that we're not anticipating because of the shift that we've done, obviously, on the on this side of things. That shift, it automatically makes that level a very strong level. So even if we do pull back like what is doing now, we don't anticipate the market to break above that zone. So Euro USD as well, you can even wait for it to tap that region. Once it taps that region, you wait for that shift to the downside, then you strike your sales to the downside. Also a swing trade as well that you're going to take this week. A very, very beautiful swing trade that we're going to check this week. So here you can see that we're just still bullish, still bullish, still bullish, still bullish. They are potential coming into this zone here. If they stretch further, they can stretch even to here. So this one, I don't need to waste much time explaining. You can just wait for them to tap that region. Once they tap, then you wait for the downside shift. Once you see that downside shift, then you strike your trades, even on the 4 hour, if you see it as well. So usually they shift earlier on the lower time frames, 1 hour, 2 hour, they can even shift earlier before the overall 4 hour, 8 hour. So you can even enter with a 1 hour or 2 hour shift, you can even enter your sales to the downside. So that's it on EURUSD as well. Even if you add Fibonacci, I believe there's also a confluence to that, whereby we are coming potentially to 78.6 right there. Then if it stretches further, it will be somewhere around up there to 88.6. So currently, this is my bias there on EU. Moving on to NASDAQ. NASDAQ. So if you compare NASDAQ to US30 now, if you go to the monthly and you compare both of them, you'll see the difference. Why I say the US30 has done something that NASDAQ hasn't done, right? In the sense that if you look at this structure, if you listen to and paid attention to the US30 analysis that I did, you'll see that NASDAQ hasn't done what US30 has done in terms of candlestick structure, if you understand them and stuff. Here, they were supposed to take out this, they didn't take it out, they went up. So they haven't done that. So them not doing that, that's why they are still doing all that, creating new highs and stuff and stuff and stuff. So yeah, where are they now going? We can just add even a Fibonacci. We can just add a Fibonacci to see how far they can still push, but I'm not expecting them to go beyond around, let me say 21,000. Let me give it up to 21,000. They can still stretch to that. They can stretch to that to 21,000. If they don't go there, potentially we'll be looking at maybe 20,500. But 21,000, that will be a solid figure that mostly they can just prefer to touch that before they drop. So let me also put 20,500. 20,500. Yes. 21,000. Right, something like this. So that's the region that I'm anticipating a potential drop from there. Once you drop from there, obviously we always have that first level that we're anticipating them to take out, which is in this case our previous low, monthly low, which is this one. So this is currently my trading range for NASDAQ for this whole month, as well as up until it breaks out of that region, up until, so even if we manage to take sales from up there, this will still be our major TP to the downside. Our first major TP, not our major TP actually, but our first major TP to the downside will be that level that I marked there. So is there anything much to add on this? Is there anything much to add on NASDAQ? Nothing really interesting, because remember, I told you that even if you draw trend lines and you draw whatever you want to draw, someone can come here and draw a trend line from down here going up. Those things, they are useless if ever structure doesn't change, or if ever the market, or what do you call this, if ever the candles themselves, they don't shift. Those things will be as good as useless. So that's why you don't see me drawing all those things, because due to understanding now, you understand that the real fundamentals that you really want to see, there's always that main thing that you want to see changing. If that thing doesn't change, definitely everything else that you can draw is useless. So yeah, this law also can also be the potential law that we're looking forward for it to be taken out this week that we're entering. So this one, we just put it in red. to say that once they take out this one, potentially now they will now be coming for that other level that we have down there. So I can just refine it to this, of which that will be a change of character. If you look at it literally from institutional terminologies there, that's a break of structure. Then once they do whatever shift they do, then that will be a change of character down. Right. So even on the daily, you can see that they were just maintaining bullish order flow, bullish order flow, bullish order flow, bullish order flow. Even here, if you want to know that, if you want to see that they failed to shift to the downside so many times, from even here, if we start from here, if you start from here, you can see that this was a level, that was a high, that was a low. Then here, that was a high. They're still maintaining the same low because this hole, they are still stuck within that. Then here, that was a high, that was a low, of which here they failed to check out this level. That was the first sign. Then here, if you notice the candles, that was a high, that was a low, that was a high, that was a low, that was a high, which was still the same high, maintaining that they didn't take out this low. Had they taken out this low, right now they would be having the same situation with the US30, whereby it was supposed to be maybe somewhere around here, playing around within those regions, trying to fall, but they failed. So they were just maintaining bullish order flow, bullish order flow. So now, looking on the daily also, I'm looking forward for them to take out that previous daily low. Also, that will be a good confirmation to the downside. So NASDAQ, we just want those clear, clean downside shifts before we can fully say that we are now having an overall an overall bearish bias. So far, there's nothing much that I can add onto this because there's no new structure up there. We just need that new structure to form up there. Once it forms nicely, then we can strike. There are the people that are so ignorant to an extent that they just because they see it up there, they just start selling up there. That's a lack of understanding. You don't just sell because you have seen the market that is now high there, or it has now created new highs. No, you don't do that. You wait for that structure to play out. Once it plays out nicely, then you strike yourselves to the downside. So NASDAQ, I'm still waiting for some confirmations to happen before we strike. So even here, they failed. That was a low, that was a high. This was just internal structure, of which these are just buys that happened. I think it was last week or so. Had they taken out this low, they were going to potentially reverse from there, but they failed. So here, that was also a buying opportunity that they presented. So looking at the current market where it is, we just need to wait for structure to fully give us proper shifts to the downside before anything serious. So currently on NASDAQ, I won't speak much on it. Those are some of the levels that I just wanted to. Once structure plays out nicely to the downside, that's when we can now fully confidently say, now we can now strike and stuff. But so far, let's just wait for them to play around. As I said here, they can still push even further. In this case, this whole from this low to that new high that they created is still a buying range. So even if you see them shifting, even taking out that low here, they can just play around within this structure. If they don't take out this, if they do this now, that's a total different situation. But if they don't do that, they can just do something like play here, shift inside there, and go for that level that they'll be wanting. Play again, go for that level that they'll be wanting, something like that. So this is the current thing that I'm looking forward to on NASDAQ. Last but not least, gold. So the other pairs that I didn't cover, though, that's your own responsibility. If ever you trade another pair that I didn't cover here, that's your own responsibility. You're just applying the same ideas, the same methodology. If ever you have understood it, if you haven't, I don't know now, but you just have to look at those pairs. Then we see how they go. So here we still have this law that we are looking overall to take out on the monthly for us to have those to say that we can now safely sell maybe into this demand there and also maybe that one. So up there, they're also doing as NASDAQ, whereby they're just creating new highs here. That was a low, that was a high, that was a new high. Then they did this pullback inside shift. So in this case, they are still playing around, still playing around. They are still bullish inside there. I think if you watched the previous announcement that I did on gold, I said they're still bullish inside there, even though they have a level that they have to take out in order for us to say, no, for them to fully now sell. If you look on the daily, if you understand structure well, you can see that that's a leg up there, right? And that's a leg, correct. But this one, it's a higher low, of which they didn't take it out here. If you notice, of which this was a level that I was saying, if they come and take this out, beautiful, they're going to drop. So yeah, last week I was having a selling range from this high to this low, of which they've broken above there. So potentially we are looking at that supply area. That's the first thing. If they come to that supply area and do a shift to the downside, we'll take sales from there. If they don't shift to the downside, they'll keep buying and buying and buying, maybe create new highs. They can even create new highs up there beyond this, right? But that supply area, that's where they are now coming for. That's the current position that they are now coming for. Once they come there, then if they give you those shifts to the downside, then definitely we'll sell from there. But if they don't now, it means potentially we'll be looking forward for gold to create new highs like NASDAQ. But so far, my bias is for them to tap into that supply area. Once we tap that supply area, then if we have any positive rejections, positive structure shifts to the downside, then potentially we can actually take ourselves from right there. So last week, I was anticipating them to, even here, they came to this supply, they shifted down of it. Even if you call these sales, we could have made money, but they couldn't sustain the same. So yeah, even if they arrived here and they shifted down, they were basically going to sell from there. But they failed. They didn't shift. If you notice, they just maintained bullish order flow. So yeah, gold can potentially tap the supply area. If they shift there, they'll drop from there. If they don't shift from there, definitely they'll create new highs or just come and temper with some of those previous levels like that. But so far, that's my bias on gold. Obviously, by the time the market opens, it can just play around within this current structure that it has. Here, you can even draw. Someone can say that's a breaker block, which is correct. It's above the breaker block. So you can just play above there, buy into that level. Then if they're going to drop from there, they'll drop. But if they don't, that's also not even an issue. Let me see this level. Did they fully take out this level? Oh, yeah, they took it out. They took it out. So yeah. So currently, this is the structure that we have in gold. It's still obviously a bullish structure, as I said. It's still a bullish structure. But if they give us proper shifts there, they'll definitely sell from there. So here you can see they on the 8 hour they broke there. So yeah, they didn't change character. So they can still, as I said, they can still even come all the way up there and even break beyond. So gold, yeah, that's my bias on gold. You can catch some scalp or day trade buys from where it is to those supply areas up there.